Hello, everybody. Welcome back. This is day 4. It's hard to believe. I'm happy to welcome everyone and to be joined by the co-chairs, Brad Cheever and Allison Agwood. Uh, what did you guys think yesterday? Pretty dynamic day, I thought.
Yeah, it keeps getting better and better, right? I see that, but we start with that amazing panel on day one, and it's hard to beat that. But I love again the conferencing, the talking, the chatting. It's all, I was worried about how well that would happen, and it's happening seamlessly for the most part. So yeah, no, I'm really excited about how it's going.
I completely agree. I love the discussion on breastfeeding yesterday. I think that's been an issue we've heard so much about. So it was great to have a little bit more time to delve into that.
Yeah, and Allison, you did a great job kicking us off yesterday with adolescents, and we heard from Tim Wilkin about malignancies, and especially non-HIV associated malignancies, which is something we're seeing. And he said the number one cause of one of the number one causes of mortality in our patients. And then we learned more about depression. I thought the distinction between making that critical distinction between pure depression and bipolar disease was really important because the therapy matters. And as we already alluded to, the panel on perinatal infection, getting into breastfeeding and other things, all is great. So look forward to our last day. It's kind of sad that it's coming to an end, but today we're hearing about burnout, which with COVID has really been accelerated. So Nadine Kaslow is going to talk to us about that. We're going to talk with Jim Raper from UAB, my colleague, about engaging patients who are out of care. Take a break, come back with Dr. Genham. We'll talk about STIs, and then finish with a really dynamic panel on PrEP. And Rafi Landovitz is going to lead that. And I've seen him do this. It's really exciting and really cutting edge. In a lot of cases, there's not great answers. And then we'll have a wrap up. And then don't forget about the breakout sessions that we're going to have today as well, going from 12:45 to 1:45 Pacific, what would be 3:45 to 4:45 Eastern time. And we have discussion about prevention, managing syphilis, staff burnout, and our burnout potentially. And then Dr. Cheever and Dr. Wilcox are going to talk to folks about HRSA and some details about the Ryan White. One thing to remember when you go to a breakout, please turn your camera on. That lets the moderators know that you're there and can engage. And we only have capacity for 100 attendees maximum. So try to get to your breakout session a little bit earlier to assure yourself a spot. Next slide. So the training and resources, the key element of this is that the recordings will be made available. There'll be a slide training guide, resources that the AETC will be giving us. So you can get these resources as on the next slide. We can talk about that. You go to the conference materials and you can pick up the slides and the slide training guide, but you can see the whole menu there. It's quite dynamic. Don't forget to do your evaluations. I've said this at the first day, but every day, if you could remember to do it every day at the end of the day, that's great. But it's really important to do it, even if you didn't do it. Just at the end of the day today, go online, answer the questions, let us know how we did. Feedback's been great so far, but we want to hear what we can do better. And we want to hear about topics that you want to hear next year. And so please complete that, and that'll be important. For claiming CME, you're going to receive an email, and you need to respond to that email before November 12th. That gives you a little bit over a month. I'd suggest just do it when you get the email and get it done. You have to complete the post test. Remember, about a 57% overall pass rate, or 57% overall performance with about a 20% pass rate on the pre-test. It'll be the same questions, but after you've seen the presentations, I suspect everybody will do a whole lot better. And you can get CME credits, ABIM maintenance and certification credits, nursing contact hours, AAFP credits, pharmacotherapy credits, and pharmacy contact hours. So claim for what you did. It's obviously not fair to claim if you missed a day to claim for that day, but most of you have been here for all 4 days, so you get up to 14.5 CME credits. So the question that we asked at the beginning, I want to ask again. So the National Ryan White Conference on HIV Care and Treatment is on August 23rd to 26th, 2022. If you recall, sometimes we had the clinical update either right before or right after that meeting. So the questions are, do you want to have it before that national conference in August, after that national conference, or at a totally different time? For example, the same time as we're having it now, would likely be in a little bit of a different location than the national conference, or in early December. Go ahead and vote and let us know what you're thinking. Okay, let's see what we got. All right, so same time next year. That was a movie with Alan Alda way back in the 70s. Let's go. I think we do want to thank people. Next slide, please. First, I want to start with thanking co-chairs. It's been not just great working with you guys on the last 4 days, but what the audience doesn't know is that we started conversations almost a year ago in a lot of conference calls, and it's been very dynamic and very collegial, and I've really enjoyed working with each of you, and I think it shows in the product that we've ultimately been able to pull together. So thanks to you guys. Next.
It's been awesome.
And then the faculty, right? We couldn't do this without the faculty. They prepare hard, which again, behind the scenes, what you don't see is that they prepare their talks in advance. They send their slides in, the chairs review it, CME folks review it, and there's back and forth, and they spend a lot of time on this, not just presenting, but prep for it. So, and it shows also in what they do. Next. And then of course, this meeting has been, don't want to beschry it, that's a Yiddish term, jeopardize it, but jinx it, but it's gone flawlessly. I mean, just all the technology has worked. Capital Reach, Tom is behind the scenes making this seamless. The AETC, NCRC folks in New Jersey have been great. And I'm sitting here right now in the IAS-USA offices in San Francisco, and you should see the activity buzzing around here, starting early in the morning and going into the afternoon and early evening. And everybody's working very hard. And I think it shows, right? This just doesn't happen by magic. These are the folks who make the magic happen. Next slide. And then of course, to the audience, you guys have been great. You've been active, participating, sending in a lot of questions, chatting in the chat box, which is kind of fun to watch, going to the breakout sessions, very eagerly participating. I think it's just been a wonderful meeting. It's unfortunate that we're not be able to get together face to face, but we just want to put all this together and say a giant thank you on the next slide. And then getting started today on day 4, I'm going to turn the chair over to Dr. Agwood.